Hey guys,
Hi.
it is the beginning of August.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't believe it. That's crazy. Time is going so fast lately. We're trying to adhere to like a 4-5 week update schedule, so apologies if we slip a little here and there, but we're trying to be good about doing an update every 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and keep you guys informed. So we've been busy, really busy.
Yes, we have. And we apologize for any noise that might happen here. We moved outside because it was very noisy in the shop, but here we have trucks and all kinds of cars passing by. So
Random
we'll
people waving at us,
Right.
things like that.
Yeah, so apologize.
So if you see us wave, it's okay.
Right.
Anyway, to kick it off, here's a little montage of the fabrication, machining, and building that we're working on with Harmony. Let's talk about our generator testing. We have been generator testing pretty heavily for the past 2 weeks, and that has taken us into testing 7 different generators that we had over the past couple months. But the last 2 weeks in general, we got 3 different generators in and have been testing those. We believe we have one right now that is fitting the bill, and another one that should be coming in another week or so that will probably also fit the bill. In other words, by fit the bill, we mean producing the power at the rated capacity in the RPM range that we wanted. Now you know, that's, go ahead.
Let's back up a little bit
Sure.
here. So people who have been following us for the long term
Yes,
may remember that we already had a patent on a generator.
we do.
So why don't we review, just so people understand where we're at? Like, this is confusing because we have a patent, but why are we testing other generators? So can we get a quick summary?
Sure. Way back in the beginning, before my generator patent was filed, I thought that Harmony would just be something that we produce with an off-the-shelf generator. We then got into the patented technology where I came up with our own generator design and thought, oh, well, now that we have our own generator, we'll pair our generator with Harmony. But probably a year and a half into that process, we started realizing that's its own beast, and that's going to take its own set of many months to develop and to tweak and to, perfect. And we didn't want to stack that on top of the development we were doing for Harmony, because we don't have enough people to multi-thread things and be doing this while we're doing that. So that means doing the development on the turbine, then doing the development on the generator in a string. And you would have to increase your timeline to do that. We were trying to keep things faster, keep it more streamlined so we could get the product out there, get our turbine out there with an off-the-shelf generator. So when you have those two things hooked together, now you've got a very long timeline if you're going to do your turbine development and then you're going to do your generator development after that, and then try and couple the two together and get everything worked out. So the faster way to market would be save this for later. Save the generator development for later. Just focus on the turbine development right now. Couple it with an off-the-shelf generator, which goes way back to my original idea in the beginning, and then get the product out faster.
Right.
That's really what's going on here. The generator development, I think, is going to be amazing, but we have to look at what do people want, what do people need. They want a turbine that they can put on their home, that they can put on their business. They want 10 of them, and they want them now. So we're trying to do things more quickly. That means we're going to hold the generator development until later. It's probably going to be something more expensive than we want to put on small household units. So in the end, if we took all the time to do this, you don't want to go to all the trouble of doing the development only to find out it's going to be much more suited for larger, more expensive units anyway. So, at this point, it makes much more sense to just stick with our turbine coupled with an off-the-shelf generator to try and keep the timeline as quick and efficient as possible. Right. So that's what we're doing. That's why we're doing that.
Okay.
It may turn out that 2 years from now, when we finally have the time to circle back and get our generator going, we're like, wow, they work perfectly together, which is when I designed them and filed the patents, it really seems like they would be awesome together.
Right.
But the time, the capabilities to do that is what we don't want to encumber Harmony with right now. We don't want to sit there and do all of that time because you guys are already like, come on, get this product out to us. And we feel that. We feel it every day.
Right.
It's in my bones. I mean, it's there.
Right.
So we want to get this product out. And to do that quickly, we're aiming for an off-the-shelf generator that can meet our needs. It has to be the right price point. It has to be the right power production. It has to be the right RPM range. There's a number of caveats here that go into it. And that's why it's been a difficult process. You don't just go and grab a shelf at, some company. I feel like I'm telling an old...
I'm just going to grab a shelf.
Grab a generator off the shelf.
Okay.
You don't just go and grab a generator off the shelf, at Generators R Us and couple it with our turbine and boom, you've got everything you need. They don't exist. Those places are, making generators for very specific needs, and we have our own specific needs: RPM range, power output, torque requirements. It's like all of these things that we're looking for. We have to try and find some product that fits those needs and fits our parameters.
Right. So why don't we talk to Nate real quick and have him show us what he's been doing with the generator testing over the past few weeks. What on earth is going on here, Nate?
Yeah, so...
Oh my goodness.
As you can see, we got kind of a mess going on. But what we're working on is we're working on testing a bunch of these generators that we got in. You can see there's kind of like a whole variety of different schmackling going on. I don't know if that's a word or not, but...
It is today.
It is, yeah. So what we're doing is, all these generators, they have specific ratings. Sometimes they match, depending on the reputation of the manufacturer. We've gotten some that are spot on, and we've gotten some that don't really...
Not so much.
Yeah, not so much. So before we go through all the work and mount this onto our turbine, we really want to make sure that the power curve that they provide is accurate. So what we've been doing is we've been, attaching these generators up, spinning them, and you can see we've got all kinds of different loads. So we've got batteries, we've got capacitors here, we've got dump loads, we've got different charge controllers. We're really looking for the best options for charging your batteries and storing the energy that's not going to load down our turbine too much. So we're trying to get that curve before we actually go out in the wild and test these.
So it's not just these three.
Yeah, it does look like
four.
A pile of spaghetti right now, but that's just because we're going through so many different things, unwiring, rewiring. So it does kind of look like a mess. And we even have this on a cart because one of our generators is kind of difficult to spin. So we've got
Really?
we've got it attached over on our horizontal lathe. We can kind of show you that one.
Yeah, we should take a look.
Yeah, let's go. So you can see over here, we have, it's actually a very big generator.
Yeah.
Attached with a belt, which is slack right now because we're kind of done testing this. But I just want to show you, you know, we can mount this to our horizontal lathe.
Right.
And actually when we loaded this up, believe it or not, we were loading down this machine because it's got a small motor and we could only go up to a certain amount of RPM. But this thing is definitely way oversized, which is something that we don't really want to do to our turbines. Yes, we want to have a matched generator to our turbines. I mean, for cost reasons, performance reasons. So, you know, these are, you know, the different things that we're kind of looking at to make sure that we're making the right finished product.
Right. So guys, Nate's really been busy.
Yeah, yeah.
There's even more generators that we've been testing
We've
too.
We've still got some coming.
Yep.
We spent quite a lot of time looking at different generators. Hannah did a great job at talking to tons of different people. So
yeah, she put a lot of time into researching.
Yeah, so it's been a good process, and I think we're gonna have something pretty soon for our Mark III.
Okay, well that's great news.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. All right, thanks Nate for explaining what you've been up to for the past few weeks with the generator testing there.
Yes, thank you very much.
This leads into something really exciting because if we have a generator now that works with our turbines.
Yeah, it's basically going to come outside and be on the corner of our building permanently. We're calling this our alpha prototype. So this alpha prototype will be out here for the first time in weather, in all conditions, rain, you know, sunshine and weather.
Beating sunshine.
Yeah, crazy hot weather.
Humidity.
You know, the thunderstorms, rainstorms, whatever. That is where we're going to have our first alpha unit outside on the building, collecting data and in the weather, in all the elements. So that is really the next stage of our development.
And, you know, we often get the question of why is there no data yet? Why don't you have data? And it's because we've been trying to solve this generator issue. You know, like we said earlier in the video, we thought we were going to use our patented generator and then decided it's going to take too long and we can't get something out. If we can find an off-the-shelf generator, we can get our product out sooner. Yay.
Yeah.
So if we hone in on one here, that is the next step, putting it up on our building. And that's why we haven't had data, but now we will.
Yeah, and guys, a long time is a really obscure thing to say. You know, why have you been at it for such a long time? When you really think about it, we began fundraising because we had nothing. And this began in my basement, made out of, you know, plastic. And
your evenings and weekends.
Yeah, it's you can't take a product to launch that's this complex when it's something that's made in your basement. You have to do initial steps to get going. So we really began what you would say in earnest when things got serious for the company in summer of 22.
Right.
So summer of 22 is really when you would have to say the time started ticking. Yes, we did some fundraising and we did some preliminary work before that, but it was all
like
just
proof of concept.
Proof of concept work.
Yeah.
The real prototyping work and the beginning of everything, the genesis of where Harmony is today, started in summer of 22 to now. So we're looking at 2 years is what we're talking about.
Right.
And when you put that in context, 2 years is not that long of a time frame to have a product where we are right now in our development process. So sorry if I'm up on my soapbox a little bit talking about that, but everyone's like, you've been at this so long, so long. No, we haven't. 2 years is really all we're talking about here.
Right. Okay, so we are making progress, and that's why we make these videos for you, to just show you how we're moving along through the process, taking you through the aches and pains and the celebrations also.
Right.
So anyway, we are very close. We believe we're very close to being able to get our own data here with the unit that we're planning to put up on the side of our building.
Really the thing that happens after we've got suitable data coming in, the performance of our alpha unit is where we want it to be, and we're seeing the results that we want to see, then the next step is beta testing.
I know.
Beta testing is where we begin putting turbines out in locations, predetermined locations that you guys have been, we've got, I don't know how many,
A couple hundred
people asking to be beta testers.
Yes.
We're going to carefully select a few of those and start putting beta units out in these sites. Now, initially, we're going to keep them close to home in case something goes wrong,
Right.
you know, so we can get out there and monitor them and help if there's a problem or whatever. These are early beta units. So, of course, we're going to, you know, need them to be close to home to make sure we're doing it right. We're trying to do this right. So that means it's going to take a little more time. It's going to take a little more money to do this correctly.
So not only have we been looking at the generator testing and how to get the alpha unit up and running and, you know, looking ahead at the beta testing, we've been looking at how we build the frame around Harmony and what makes sense, what is easier to manufacture here, especially as we look at beta testing.
And what keeps it easy for our end users to install
Right.
and set up on their own.
Right.
We've been working over the past 6 weeks on machining all of the components to allow us to put 3 complete frame assemblies together that will house the new units. These are Mark III units that we're working on, and we're going to put everything together. We've already begun that
Yeah.
process. You'll
Yeah.
see that in the videos. See how that goes together, see if we like things, what we want to change, what we want to improve, and keeping in mind, of course, that you have to be able to put this together on your end.
Right.
So we want to keep that as one of the very high priorities. How does this go together for our end customers?
Mhm.
It needs to be simple. It needs to be easy to understand and not have crazy directions written in another language that no one knows how to read. We're going to do everything as the most intuitive way possible to get you the kit that you need to be able to install this on your end efficiently and quickly.
So why don't we take a minute here to check in with Jeremy and Nate and let them show us what they've been up to together.
So here we are. Here's our frame that we've been working on. Jeremy, you've machined, I don't know how many different parts for this.
You know, I was thinking about that, and I think we're actually close to 30
different
components.
and these are individual components, and they all go together into our frame. And you can see this is a little bit different than our Mark II. That one was really difficult to put together. And so we wanted to make something that's easy to assemble and also modular. What's cool about this piece, you know, is if we want to put different scoop designs on, we can just change like the pilings. If we want it to be taller, we can change that.
Mhm.
So I think the adaptability of this design is pretty cool.
We also have the option where we can change our mount height from the ground just by changing these pipes. So it's can work independently top and bottom, which is really pretty nice.
So when we started designing this, we were thinking about, you know, how quickly we can machine it. We were looking at different cycle times. We're looking at, you know, how can we mount this to different frames for testing. It's kind of, you know, I guess we're going back to the modularity, and it's pretty cool, all the different things that we'll be able to do with this new frame.
And we're trying to really, you know, design and develop with that intent in mind.
Thank you, Nate and Jeremy. That was awesome. And it helps to kind of put things in perspective of where we're at.
Right.
The other cool thing to keep in mind, yes, it might take us 6 weeks or 8 weeks to do these first 3, but we're getting all of the CAM, the CAD, all of the fixturing, all of the work holding, all of the tooling, everything that we need together so that we have kind of the recipe or the formula to then make these much more quickly going forward.
Right.
So it's all of these formulas and back-end processes that are very difficult to work out the first time and time consuming. They take a long time. Anyone in CNC machining and fabrication knows the first time you do something, it's going to take forever because you have to work out all of the kinks. And then the next 5 you do, it's a little bit faster, but you're still learning. And then you're like, okay, we've got it dialed in, full speed ahead.
Right.
So that process is what we're working through right now, which is what takes time.
Right.
But we're getting there, and we're doing it very, very efficiently when you look at it on the large scale of things. Okay, so that brings us to our last point, guys.
Okay.
We are in the midst of a crowdfunding raise. We're raising again with Start Engine. So if you'd like to invest in our company and you have not had a chance to do so previously, or maybe you've done so previously and would like to again, you can get back in on a crowdfunding round that we have going on right now. Our goal is to raise as much as we can in a short amount of time, because we don't want to keep raising money. You know, we want to be done with this, but we want to also make sure we have enough padding and enough of the security that we need financially to continue forward for the next 2 years without having to worry about funds and worry about finances and worry about being tight.
Right. And we talked a little bit about this in our last video, the June 2024 update. We had a whole segment about why we're raising. If you want more details about that, that would be a great segment to watch.
Yep. What's the marker?
Marker 9 minutes and 51 seconds, because I had to point a couple people back to that recently. So
look at the last video, marker 9 minutes, 51 seconds, if you want to hear why we're doing another raise.
Right.
But this is because we're doing good business and trying to make sure that we have a sustainable future here at Harmony for ourselves, for our employees, and of course, to protect your investment. It does no good if we don't have the funds to keep going.
Right.
This work takes a long time. It's expensive. And again, you know, when you really look at it, we've only been at this in earnest since summer of 22. So summer 22 to now is when the real bulk of the prototype development and pushing for a marketable unit has been in place. So it's not that we've been at this for decades or any long amount of time. It's this stuff is difficult to do and it takes time and money. So that's it. There's no mystery here.
No, it's that time, and we're hoping to do it real fast. It takes a lot of time to do a raise. It takes a lot of our time. So
yeah, if you're someone who has a lot of financial capabilities behind you and you love our project, then, you know, please feel free to jump in and help us out, because the quicker we can be done with raising, the happier I'll be.
The quicker we can move along and get things out. So
fundraising is one of those, you know, necessary evils that you need to do as a small startup.
Right. So there's a link up here. You can just click on that. It'll take you to our campaign page where you can read all the details about the raise. You can see all the terms and the bonuses and perks and whatnot. So we encourage you to take a look. And if you have any questions about it, please email us, support@harmonyturbines.com. Hannah and I will be happy to answer your questions there.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to talk about?
Not this time.
Okay. All right, guys. Okay. Thank you for sticking with us, for believing in us, for supporting us, for investing in us. Our community is an amazing community, and
you really are.
Yeah, even our trolls. I joke around and say we love our trolls, but you know, no matter what, you have trolls. So even the trolls out there,
we love you.
Anyway, thank you guys for following with us and being with us. Take care. Have a happy, safe summer, and we'll be back in 4 or 5 weeks, hopefully.
Yep. Till next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Harmony Turbines. We now have the power to change the world.